It's official, Barry. We're recording.
Great. Where are you?
I'm in Toronto. So great to have the opportunity to speak with you. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks, Bonnie.
Okay, first of all, before we start in on Addams Family, you don't know how much joy you brought me this past year because you brought me Schmigadoon.
I did.
Oh my God, my friend. It filled my Broadway void more than I can even express. I love that show so much. I watched it maybe 5 or 6 times over.
Wow.
How much fun was it for you to be a part of something like that and watch these veterans do what they did?
Well, truthfully, I'm not a musical theater fan and I'm not a musical movie fan. You know, my 3 musicals are Pennies from Heaven, Hair, and Monty Python's Meaning of Life. So
Okay.
They're not traditional movies. So for me, what was funny is I would say to Cinco Paul, who was a creator every day, I'd say, do we really need this song? I would say it as a joke.
Yeah.
But look, I loved working with all those very talented singing, dancing, acting actors. A lot of our dancers actually were from Toronto.
Oh, interesting. I never knew that.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
Good. Well, no wonder it was so fantastic.
Exactly. Well, we shot the whole show on stage in Vancouver.
Yeah, that I do know. Well, thank you. I just wanted to personally thank you for that because I really did love that. Addams Family. I can't even believe that it's been 30 years because I covered the original junket for that movie. So, you know, that was a huge thrill for me.
Wow.
And now looking back at this, you know, Barry, I have to say, I read your autobiography. It was fantastic, filled with so many great stories. I just loved it so much. But this was not an easy ride for you. It was your first film, directing film. Scott Rudin says, well, I chose you because all the good directors passed. I mean, come on. Where do you even go when somebody says that to you?
You know what? That's what you want. You want honesty, you know? And so, and you want quick answers. So I love that. I love that. That's one of the reasons I decided to do it is okay, you're right. You should get Tim Burton or Terry Gilliam to direct Addams Family. But Scott, when he couldn't get those guys, knew he wanted a visual stylist. He didn't want to just go with a comedy director because there are very few comedy directors that also have a visual style, especially back in 1990. You know, so he felt he'd rather take a chance with a first-time director. And also he had worked at Fox when I shot both Big and Raising Arizona.
Right.
So he had seen all the dailies. He knew that my contribution went beyond a typical cinematographer. So yeah, it was tough. It was like 20 weeks. I think we went 8 weeks over budget, over schedule, for various reasons. But he was very brave making that decision.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you why you think the Addams family has had such an enduring love, you know, from the Charles Addams drawings to the TV series, to the movie, to now, you know, animated. It just keeps going and going and people can't get enough.
Well, I think partly it's quirky. It's a little bit dark. It's kind of, you know, people say subversive, although I don't really think it is. But it's a chance to be with a family that you love that isn't saccharine or treacle, you know, that there's some edge to it, but the edge is sort of not dangerous.
Right.
You know, so, and I can't speak for the others, but I can speak for the 2 movies I directed. They're also kind of romantic. You know, the first one, Addams Family, no couple has ever been more in love than Morticia and Gomez.
Yeah.
And no parents have ever been better parents because they leave their children alone to learn things. They're not helicopter parents. They're quite the opposite.
That's right.
So I think that's part of it, is that you get to spend time with a family that you love.
I love spending time with them. That is for sure. So, you know, looking at this new 4K Blu-ray edition that you've been able to go back and revisit the film and first of all, give me a little bit of teaser what people are going to expect if they get this.
Right. Well, first of all, we were able to go back and recolor time the movie. Back 30 years ago, you couldn't time couldn't correct for things within a shot. You could just do an overall correction. So the film is much more beautiful now. I went back in and color timed it. But what I'm really excited about is I put back the entire Mamushka, which is this great song and dance number with Raul Julia and Chris Lloyd, mainly Raul. I had cut it out because I thought the movie was slightly too long in that area. I had shortened the Mamushka. So we come in the middle of the Mamushka in the previous edition, but now you see the very beginning of it. You see the great lyrics by Condom and Green, and Mark Shaman did a great job on the song. So I'm so thrilled that everyone gets to see the entire original Mamushka, and that's worth the price of the Blu-ray to see the entire song.
Oh, I 100% agree. I mean, when you think back and just looking back at, working on this, Barry, 30 years ago, and having had the opportunity to work with the great Raul Julia, never mind everybody else in this cast. I remember meeting him for the first time, and I just, man, what a talent, what a great man. What was, the best memory for you working with him?
Well, the funny thing, and I'll get to Raul in a second, but how is it that this was 30 years ago and you and I are still 30 years old? I don't know how that. I was going to
say the same. I was going to say that.
It's weird, but Raul was perfection. I've never worked with anyone who loved life more than Raul.
Yeah.
Everything. And that's who Gomez is.
Yeah.
Gomez should be equally joyfully miserable as he is when he's equally joyfully happy. He just loves life and loves emotion. So Raul was directing through casting.
Right.
Same with Angelica, same with Christina Ricci. We just cast the right people and you're there. And same with Chris Lloyd too, who did an amazing job looking dumpy and having no neck. And that was all just Chris. We didn't add anything to him. It was amazing.
And your decision with hand, I thought that was really bold and brave, especially thinking back 30 years ago to do it. Was that a huge challenge for you?
It was a big challenge, and casting thing. The hand's called Thing.
Yes. Sorry, I'm sorry. I meant the hand.
No. That's no. But
you
know what you meant. Yeah. Good.
Thing. Of course, I knew that. I knew
it. So at first I thought, let's get a magician, because then I could have like Thing rolling a quarter or doing funny tricks or card things.
Yeah.
But magicians are all about sleight of hand, and they didn't have a lot of elegance. So then I said, I'm going to really regret this, but let's start bringing in mimes. And I said, but if any mime is walking against the wind, or is locked in a glass, I'm sending him home. And after a day of casting with mimes, I realized I'm not going to be able to get through this show with mimes. So we went back and looked at all the magicians, and one magician, Chris Hart, had a beautiful long hand, and Chris played Thing, and it's all in camera, and it's amazing what we did. So there's no CGI or computer generated Thing or anything like that.
Yeah, it's truly amazing. I love watching it back. I really did love that film. And just before I wrap, I have to say, well, as you can tell, I'm a huge fan of yours. Everything that you've given us is just, honestly, such a devoted, loyal fan. Okay, so a couple weeks ago, I had the opportunity to talk to my pal, Lee Pace, and I begged him, please, we want a Pushing Daisies reunion. I absolutely love that. And of course, you got to work with Kristen again and Shringadoon.
Right.
Hey, Barry, I'm putting you on the spot here. We want a Pushing Daisies reunion. And I know there was talk of a musical reunion.
Yeah, well, it'd be perfect for a musical because you got Chenoweth, who could, belt out the entire score for everyone.
Exactly.
I would love to get involved in Pushing Daisies again. I still love Brian Fuller, the creator. We talk from time to time, and I would love it. I would love to see a musical. Maybe Apple will do a Schmigadoon-like musical of Pushing Daisies, but we'll see.
I'm in the front row, and you can use me as an extra, because being from Toronto, I would only make the production better.
That much better. Yeah. Thank you. You got it.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for this 4K release. It's just gorgeous, and I am such a fan. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, take care.
Bye.
Bye.